All right, so pull your mic down.
I know how this works. This ain't my first rodeo.
This ain't your first rodeo. Two guys, one podcast. Wild, abandoned sexuality of a
I
stallion.
lose more and more respect for you every time we do this show.
Two guys, one podcast. It's theater of the mind, baby.
Anything I show you on the internet is fact now.
You just like to see dreams crushed. You are the crusher of dreams.
No, don't get me wrong. I'm a cool guy.
Two guys, one podcast. And this is the podcast. Welcome to Two Guys, One Podcast. I'm one guy.
And I'm the other.
And this is the podcast. Episode 5. Look at that.
We're in grade school now.
I don't know. Is 5 a milestone? I guess we should stop celebrating every single episode like it's amazing we continued.
Yeah, maybe like you start celebrating birthdays. Once you really get to like 6 or 7, it's not a big deal. Whenever girls hit 16, that's a big deal. And guys at 18, 21.
15 was a big deal for me. That I got my driver's license at 15. 18 was big.
Right.
And then 21 was big. And the 25 for me was big. It was ridiculous, but it was about insurance. Like my insurance.
Oh yeah,
rates dropped.
that's the last good one.
Yeah.
And then 40 after that, like 25, 40, maybe 30.
I was very excited about 30 because I felt like I got to move into that next box, right? Like I was tired of being in the 18 to 29. How much of that group do you actually associate with demographically? I mean, you know a lot of people in that group. You even hang out with a lot of people in that group, but you're not like most of the people in the 18 to 29-year-old group.
Like when I was 29?
I'm saying today, you are much closer to the median in the 30 to 40 range than the 18 to 29.
Right, but I'm not 29 or younger, so
I felt like that was a hurdle that I was excited about. Like
you're an adult, like you're like at 30, you're finally an adult.
Yes, finally I'm grown now. You know,
nice. Nobody's an adult at 18. Nobody is. Even like college students, you know, older people say those kids.
Yeah.
You know, they don't say, oh, those adults that go to school.
No, those
kids and their Bacchus orgies.
I don't know. So when do we stop celebrating? When in the relationship do you stop counting the months and start thinking about, oh, it's our 1 year anniversary? Do you stop celebrating?
No. I mean, you do, but you don't because you never know what's going to be important, you know, to the wife.
Oh.
So like, hey, we've been married 3 years. Woo. Like, let me tell you what she did.
Uh-oh.
So it's not even close to our anniversary.
Okay.
But for her birthday, it was her birthday. And she was picking out things that she wanted for her birthday, which is cool. I always appreciate her picking out the thing that she wants.
Being up front, saying, hey, this is what I want.
Yeah.
You don't make me, look, I can do a romantic thing once in a while and come out of nowhere with something and surprise you. But your big gifts.
Or give me a ballpark. Like, she wanted jewelry is what she wanted. So we went to a jewelry store, and she picked out 5 or 6 things that she liked. And then out of those 5 or 6 things, you know, I get to buy.
Right.
Which is good. Like, there's still a little surprise in there. But she knows she's going to get something that she wants. She picked out like a diamond ring for her right hand.
Oh, the right hand ring, the ever popular. Gentlemen, get that right hand ring for the right hand woman in your life.
Yeah, but here's the deal. Like, I apparently, like a diamond ring that has the 3 diamonds in it is a popular gift right now for like 10-year anniversaries.
Past, present, future symbolism.
Yeah, I guess. And she kind of like picked one out. And she's like, well, not for my birthday, but you know, when we have our 10-year anniversary, hint, hint. And I'm like, no, you're not getting a diamond ring. Like, you're trying to fool me now. You're trying to bamboozle me. I know the diamond anniversary is the 60th. I know that. Not the 10.
What? I mean, the first one is paper, right?
Yeah.
And then it's
cotton after that.
What do you? I never did
a robe, a nice
robe.
robe,
like a chenille.
Right, a nice robe, and then for paper, you write a love letter from the first year.
Look at you.
And you.
This is the reason why you're still married, and I'm not. Look at this.
Oh, I didn't do any of these things. I didn't. I couldn't even tell you what I did do.
Boy, in a year, this podcast will really have a resonance about.
Like, because you know she's going to listen to this. Hopefully we cut this out. But if she listens to it, she's going to be like, man, those are awesome, sweet. Wait, he didn't do that. Anything. Like, she'll call me out before I called myself out. So, but yeah, you know what the 10th anniversary is? Do you?
I don't.
Aluminum. Aluminum or tin. Traditionally, aluminum or tin.
I mean, what the heck do you do that? You get a weather vane?
No, I'm going to get her a baking sheet. I'll bake her cookies. on the new baking sheet.
I know, see that.
Like, I'll
that
give her
could be
cookie and she's
cute.
like, that's not aluminum. And I'm like, here's the twist. And then she'll say, you cheap fuck. I want a divorce. And I'll say, surprise, it only took 10 years.
You beat the odds. We beat the other guy, or the one guy.
I've never admitted to a mistake. I've made a huge mistake.
Let's do a few mistakes.
Oh, we have a few?
Not really. It's really just a couple here. This is one, and we right at the end when I was being inconsiderate towards the disabled.
Yeah, jerk.
I said that the podcast wasn't going to be endorsed by the ADA. The ADA, what I was thinking of is the Americans with Disabilities Act. They couldn't endorse us since,
Since it's an act.
is a bill and not a group of people.
Did somebody point that out to you?
Yeah, somebody sent me an email about that the ADA is not a group. There are groups named the ADA. None of them have anything to do with disabled people. Though.
I'm gonna tell that one guy it's a bill. It's not even a group of people, you jackass.
He was right. I looked it up. The AAPD is what I meant. That's like the American Association for People with Disabilities or something like that. The other quote-unquote mistake, episode 4, entitled A New Hope. I mentioned the Force in the description for the episode. We even talked about movie franchises that we could take over. We didn't mention Star Wars. And there's a reason for that. You have never seen any of the Star Wars movies.
Not all the way through now.
You've never rented them. You've never gone to the movie theater to see them.
Nope.
You have happened upon them in rooms where they were either already playing, someone else was watching, or you like channel flipped and watched 10 minutes, 15 minutes at a time on cable.
Correct.
But you don't feel like you need to see any of them.
No.
First off, they're not, quote unquote, for you. You're more into the fantasy than the sci-fi, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you've already seen enough of them over the years.
I know what they're about.
Okay. I would like you
No.
to, as concisely as possible,
Okay.
tell me the story of Star Wars, starting with the prequels. Anakin Skywalker is born, and what happens?
All right. Anakin Skywalker's born. Dude got a whole lot of the Force. Maybe there was some prophecy or something like, hey, there's going to be a dude who shows up who got a whole lot of the Force. He's going to completely change things, right?
A Messiah figure.
Yeah, Messiah figure. And I think that there's maybe 2 prophecies. Like the dark side has their prophecy of what's going to happen. I guess the normal folks have their idea what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. And they're both right because Anakin grows up and becomes Darth Vader, which is the dark side. But then he has the son, who the Force is also strong with, who kind of fulfills the light side of the prophecy. And that's what happens.
Yeah, I don't think you need to see those movies.
Yeah, I know what's going on.
You want to do listener mail?
Yeah.
DeVale is here! Woo!
Let's get a little feedback from the listeners, and if you have something to tell one guy or the other, bitches, comments, concerns, questions, if there's a segment you'd like us to do in the future, you can send it all to 2guys1pod@me.com. 2guys1pod@me.com. This comes from the littlest sensei.
That dude's name is Littlest Sensei?
Well, that's what we're going to call him. You know who I'm talking about here.
No, I don't.
Person we both know.
Okay.
Who would we refer to as the littlest sensei?
I don't know, our mutual friend's
Fuck,
kid?
No, it's
Can't say his name.
I'm going to cut it out. But I'm now just explaining to you, and I'm not hitting unrecord.
Okay.
The littlest sensei is going to be...
Yeah, he's pretty tiny.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
He ain't teaching me nothing.
He's not your sensei. He is a sensei.
Of the littlest people, like he only senseis midgets?
No, he is small in stature himself. This man is small in stature. Only in physical
Like
stature.
on Game of Thrones, before the battle scenes, like Tyrion only goes to this guy since he's the littlest sensei.
Yes. I shall teach you the way of the small man.
This is how you take an axe to the face.
So the littlest sensei says, fuck yeah, dude. First off, I like any review that starts with fuck yeah, dude.
I don't.
No?
No.
Oh, come on.
I mean, it's like, come on, get your tongue out of my asshole.
Whenever I feel homesick, I just put you guys on, and I feel so much better. Laughed my ass off, dude. I like
This
it.
is good, yeah.
That's nice. Exactly. Very nice. Appreciate that from the littlest sensei, and thank you for listening. See, he's spreading us all around the country, man. He's got a bunch of, like, theater kids.
I want somebody to send in a bad email, like just a crotchety...
Angry. Fuck
yes, like we ruined their day.
I'll tell you about somebody about a day that was ruined. How about that? This is listener email from Cronkite.
Cronkite's back.
Exactly. We've heard from
Thanks
him
for
before.
listening again.
Guy I grew up with. He's talking about my last fight, which we mentioned in the last podcast when I got my
was it
ass
him?
whooped. No, it wasn't Cronkite. That'd be funny, right? Here's what he says. He says, I remember that fight in 8th grade. I was in the very next locker, actually. I say,
He was in the locker? Like the kid already, Cronkite
already-
already had his ass kicked by the same kid, and he shoves him in the locker.
No, I think he just meant I was sitting beside you while you got your ass whooped. And I say,
He's in the locker
What
like
the
prison
hell?
style, using a mirror
Yeah.
to see the fight.
peeking around the corner. I hope they don't notice that I'm
Yeah,
in there.
exactly. Oh, man.
Cronkite. But yeah, where the hell were you, man? Come on. Stand up for your buddy.
Hey, well, Cronkite's another one. If somebody was ripping your heart out, he wouldn't help either.
Speaking of eating, no hearts being eating in here, but this comes from Eaglet Joe. She says, I'm all for
See, I wouldn't have thought that was a girl. How'd you know it was a girl?
other things in her email. I'm anonymizing these as much as possible. If we're going to be anonymous, they should be too.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I mean, just if the name was Eaglet Joe.
No, not Eaglet. Eaglet.
Oh.
Like a baby
eagle.
Yes, Eaglet Joe.
I don't know. I thought an Eaglet was a baby idiot or something.
It's a young Iggy Pop fan.
Iggy Pop's in the Color of Money. Just thought I'd throw that out there. Give him a shout out. Go Iggy Pop.
Look at that. All right. So from Eaglet Joe, Baby Eagle Joe.
There you go. That's better.
Anyway, she says, I'm all for one guy having to try new things instead of the other guy. It's all about expanding horizons, right? Plus, it'll give the podcast a little Tosh.0 effect if he pukes. Smiley face.
Well, do we have a surprise in store for you, Eaglet Joe?
Yeah, so we're going to do our first Would You Eat It for $1 today. And maybe that's why we haven't recorded in like 10 days. You think?
Maybe.
What's he eating in there? Nuts!
It's like eating a spoonful of Drano. Sure, it'll clean you out. It'll leave you hollow inside.
Would you eat it for $1?
First off, the idea was that it was going to be a test of which the best Rocky villain. Our audience, they don't think either one of us are right.
Well, because you said Rocky villain when it was really Rocky opponent.
Okay, well,
Hey,
Rocky
wait. You
opponent.
said Rocky opponent when what we meant was
Rocky villain. We
Rocky
meant to
villain.
discard Apollo Creed. Well, Apollo Creed won out, hands down. With the feelers that we put out to our audience and the responses that we got, definitely Apollo Creed is everybody's favorite villain. Ivan Drago and Clubber Lang, very close, neck and neck. I think a lot of the Clubber Lang folks mostly voted so that I would have to eat something. I think some of the Ivan Drago folks voted because they're level-headed and reasonable people.
No, I know 2 of the people that voted for Ivan Drago.
Me and my girlfriend.
Yeah,
that's true.
So
All right.
there's
fair
2
enough.
votes gone right there.
So here's the deal. I'm not promising that I'm going to be able to eat whatever it is that you have in store for me. I'm going to give it the old college try. I'm going to do my best to put some of it in my mouth, and we'll see what happens from there.
All right, well, here we go. So the thing that I picked for you
All right.
is something that I think most of the listeners are not going to like. Like, I think you have to grow up in a certain situation to appreciate this food. I have very fond memories of it.
Okay.
Growing up, I have some awesome memories of it. And it was, me and my dad going fishing, or me and my dad going camping.
is
And
gonna be
every time we
terrible.
went, there was always this to eat.
Okay.
And you may end up liking it because you like such crap over-processed food. And let me tell you, it doesn't get any more crap and over-processed than this.
I know what it's going to be. Oh, you're going to open the. You're going to have to open the can in here.
So, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh.
So what I have for you is a can of barbecue-flavored Vienna sausages.
Yeah. You're going to open the can, and we're going to have to fumigate the.
Pull tab style. Oh man, no, I'll eat these right now. They look delicious.
All right. And they've got sauce on them.
What's better than the normal can, which is just a gel?
Yeah, that's true. I've seen the normal can. The normal can I couldn't look at, truthfully. I can at least.
It's like hot dogs and barbecue sauce, really.
It is. It's hot dogs with barbecue sauce on it. And what's interesting is anybody who's listened to podcast number 3, corn dogs on my list, Hot dogs,
Not on your list.
not on the list. Not on the list. I'm aware that they're the same food.
Well, I feel like you don't just like hamburgers. They have to be crappy over processed hamburgers. And I felt like this was the most processed hot dog I could get.
Oh wow. I gotta here's the deal. I could never just put it in my mouth. I'm really I'm honest to God. I'm trying to wrap my mind around a place where I could reach into that can and pull one out, put it in, and it's.
Do you want me to get one out for you? Do you don't want to get your fingers dirty?
I literally smelled the can and almost.
Why? Look, it's like a Band-Aid. Take one out and
it's
put
not
it in your
gonna
mouth.
happen. It's not gonna happen.
You're not even going to try one.
That's not gonna happen. Not for $1, sir. Vienna sausages would not eat.
I'm so disappointed in you.
Oh God. I will say this. I'm glad you brought the barbecue flavored ones because they're pungent if you like. When I was picking them up and putting them under my nose, it's difficult. But across the room, I thought they would fill the studio immediately. Regular Vienna sausages, you can smell them like tuna or something.
Yeah, I'm so disappointed. I'm not even going to, I feel like I'm your dad right now, and you just lost a synchronized swimming contest.
A synchronized swimming contest?
Yeah, if I'm your dad, and you're 14-year-old you, and you're doing synchronized swimming competitions, I'm already disappointed. But damn it, you better win, and you didn't. God. Now I'm doubly disappointed.
Vienna sausage. Oh, no, it's too much. No, sir.
Unbelievable.
Here's the pulse, all right? And this is your finger. Far from the pulse, jammed straight up your ass.
Other guy, since the last time that you and I were in the studio, the world has gone to hell in a handbasket.
Yeah.
There's been not one, not two, but now three.
No, 3.
That's what I'm saying. Not one, not two, 3 separate reports now.
No, I only know of 2.
First of all, there's the case in Miami, which everybody's heard about by now. The man was shot and killed by police because he was a naked man, first off, was lying on top of another naked man, chewing his face, eating his face. Cops asked him to stop. He wouldn't. They shot him.
Not only wouldn't, he turns and growls.
Yes, turned and growled at them and then continued
to eat the guy's face. It's what's for dinner.
Yeah, apparently in Miami at least. Then there's another report of, and I don't have a link for this. But
How did the second man get
line.
naked is what I want to know.
He was a homeless man.
They don't
was
just walk
the
around
report
naked.
Later.
I know lots of homeless people.
Apparently there was an altercation. As more things came out about the case, and actually the article that I've got here, the headline is "Questions Remain About Why Naked Man on Miami Causeway Tried to Rip Flesh Off Another Man's Face."
This is a situation where I feel like if the guy getting his face eaten is naked, but at one time had clothes on, and the hungry guy literally had time to rip your clothes off and then eat your face, I don't feel bad for you.
Anyway, the theory there is that it might have been something called cocaine psychosis. Was one of the theories on this man, why he went crazy, why he was naked, and why he was eating someone else's face. The second case is a college student. This guy had another guy living in his apartment, was sharing a space with him there, and killed him, ate parts of his face and his brain and his heart, and wrote about it on Facebook before he got caught. This guy wasn't an attack of passion.
So the second case, so we're dorming together.
Yes.
I literally kill you, eat your face and brain, then Facebook about it. You're telling me the guy...
He didn't Facebook specifically about the cannibalism. He had been Facebooking and on Twitter and other... He had a podcast too, apparently. So let's begin to worry about ourselves right there for a moment.
Your face does not look delicious to me.
Thanks, yours neither. I like you a lot. You don't. None of you looks delicious. You look just as delicious as those Vienna sausage. Yeah, we're rooming together. You kill me.
Right.
And now, in retrospect, for like weeks, this guy has been really cryptic.
He killed him a while back and they just found out, or he recently killed
this guy.
He recently killed him.
And they discovered it almost immediately. It was a day or so later.
Okay. Huh.
So that's
Any drugs in that one, or the dude just was a sicko?
no immediate reports of drugs. And then the most recent case, South Louisiana, and all of a sudden, this one also seems to be drug related, meth. But in this case, it was just an altercation that all of a sudden escalated to a guy biting the other guy's face and trying to eat his face off. I do not understand what the hell is happening here.
I understand a little bit. Say I went to prison, right?
Right?
I would probably just go up to the biggest guy there and just bite his nose off. Not because I was hungry, but you're not going to fuck with somebody who bites some dude's nose off. You're just not.
You're not going to mess with the guy that eats people?
Yeah, you're not going to do that. If it were, a fight altercation and I felt like that dude
Had a significant advantage over you,
I would
potentially.
bite his nose off. Or ear or lip.
Maybe so.
No one needed afterwards. I just
And-
wear it around my neck as trophies.
I don't think they let you do that, other guy.
Why not? Would they want the nose? No. What are they going to do with it? Nothing. It's my nose. I won it in battle. I claim this,
It's that kind of talk that'll get you in trouble if you had a Facebook account.
but I don't.
Yeah, I know. I love it. So immediately the media spins this into the zombie craze. They say, oh, well, it's about zombies. And of course, the internet loves some motherfucking zombies.
I blame Walking Dead.
Such a good show.
Yeah, but whenever you're ingesting, all these chemicals, people think about zombies a lot now.
I do wonder if there's not an increased possibility of these kinds of activities just because the zombie is... Is it really more mainstream, though, than it was when Night of the Living Dead came out, for instance?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's definitely more. First off, more homes have televisions right now. You can watch it. You can read about it, watch it on a mobile device in your pocket. You don't even need a TV now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely...
And I mean, I guess it's not just Walking Dead. Zombieland was big recently. Shaun of the Dead not too many years ago, and that continues to find a young college age audience again and again and again. New people come to college every year and discover those same kind of movies. So, in the interest that the world might be coming to an end any day now,
If you could?
I think a great if you could.
Yeah.
If the zombie apocalypse is upon us and you could have any weapon, real or not, I'm going to include mythological weaponry in this. What's the weapon of choice?
I don't think having...
You don't like mythological weaponry?
No, because that's easy. I would take Odin's spear. It never misses. Ever. It never misses.
See, I go lightsaber. I mean,
You
obviously...
can miss.
Well, yeah, but anything that it touches is not only always cut through, but cauterized, too.
Well, you don't need to cauterize a zombie. They're not going to bleed out, man.
No, but at least in The Walking Dead, you can cauterize yourself after a bite. If my hand gets bitten, if I've got a lightsaber handy, vroom, real quick, cut off the stub. I'm not going to bleed to death, and I'm not going to, the bite's not
Yeah,
going to
what happens
affect
when
me
your
further.
neck gets bit?
Well, yeah, then you're fucked. And you got to die. You can pass the lightsaber on to, other guy junior.
Yeah, no.
All right, well, let's stick to real world weaponry then.
Okay, yeah. Because that can get, that's ridiculous. I would, I would take the power gauntlet. That's what I would take.
The Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, the Infinity Gauntlet, game over.
The zombie apocalypse didn't happen.
Yeah, there you go, done. So you have to keep it mainstream.
All right, fair enough then. Are you going to go Ash on us? You going to go chainsaw?
No, I don't want to bring them to me. It's going to be something that's noiseless.
Okay. I think it's really simple then. And I mean, McCone from the Walking Dead comics, we haven't met her yet in the show, but spoiler, she appears in the final scene of season 2. You get like the cameo. It's samurai swords, man. A well-sharpened samurai sword.
Over a crossbow.
Yeah, even over a crossbow.
Like a modern...
What happens when you run out of bolts for that crossbow?
What happens when 4 or 5 of them get way too close to you for that? You can't kill them all.
Nothing's for a crossbow. That's what I'm saying. 4 or 5 of them way too close to you is an issue for the crossbow because you can't reload that fast. 4 or 5 of them near me with a samurai sword, I've got a chance. I keep swinging this sword.
I'd rather shoot and run, but I still wouldn't pick the crossbow.
Okay.
I would want a super soaker filled with Purell.
Kills 99.9% of germs.
Exactly.
You think it'd kill the zombie virus?
Nobody's ever tried.
Do they try that in Zombieland? It's been a while since I've seen it.
I don't think so.
I don't buy it. If it's that simple, then it already would have been done. The other thing
Really?
is,
Really?
well,
You didn't think about it?
the zombie virus, we assume in most modern incarnations of this idea, and even if we want to extrapolate it into the real world, it'd have to be in the brain, right? Like it'd have to be in the core of the brain somewhere. So I'm saying spraying Purell, even if you spray it in the eyes or the mouth, it's not. I don't think it's going to get there. I don't think it gets it done.
I just have a different kind of zombie then. In this made-up world of fake-ass monsters, my monsters can be killed by a super soaker filled with Purell.
What happens when you empty the super soaker?
You just go to Kmart and get more Purell.
There's a lot of Kmart's closed down these days. You know what doesn't run out? Samurai swords, baby.
Yeah, but you get tired.
You got to pump that super soaker too.
That's true. That's a good point, yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's a true story.
From a range or in close, Samurai Sword gives you tons of options. I can cut the limbs off as you're attacking me. I can stab you and push you further away from me.
But none of us taking guns.
Oh, no. First off, you're totally relying on ammo, which is a finite resource, and in a zombie apocalypse, you're never going to have the ability to reshell. I say that. That's not true. Like, my dad loads his own shells, but you have to have gunpowder for that. At some point, you're going to run out of gunpowder. So, yeah, no, I want a bladed weapon. And to me, Samurai Sword's the best. It's compact blade, super sharp all the way down the blade. It's got that little bit of a bend to it so you can pull through the neck.
So if you're going, so if we're going bladed weapons, I would have to take an axe over a samurai sword, just because it's so useful in many other things besides just killing zombies.
It is a real utility weapon.
Yeah.
You're right on that.
So I don't think it's a samurai sword. I think it's the axe.
I think
A hatchet kind of thing, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. Well, the problem with the hatchet is now you're in too close. You know what I mean? With the samurai sword, I can keep you at a couple of feet.
Fine then, just an axe then. Same thing. I can keep you at a couple feet.
Yeah. A great big double-bladed. So you can swing
I'd have a
both ways.
spike on the other end.
So
It would be more like a fireman's axe.
I gotcha. I think it goes without saying it'd be better off to have a couple of guys and a couple of weapons. Other guy, I don't know if you know how the internet works. Are you familiar with the structure of the internet?
I don't know.
It's really a series of tubes, you see. There's the YouTubes, of course. There's the Me Tubes. I've heard somewhere that there's a porn tube. I don't know anything about that because I'm not that kind of a guy. What's important, though, is we have to have something to tie all those tubes together. And that's where Stitcher.com comes in. Stitcher.com, it's podcast, it's national radio broadcast, except that with Stitcher, you can get them on the web, you can get them on your iPhone, you can get them on an Android device like you use. Stitcher is like the ebony and ivory of the technology world. It's bringing peoples together.
I stopped listening. I have no idea what you said for the past 30 seconds. I'm sure it was important.
You can find us now on Stitcher. Listen to Stitcher on your iPhone, Android, well, pretty much anywhere else that you can get the internet. It's even in car dashboards now. That's cool, man. Could you believe that? You and me could be in somebody's car dashboard right now.
As a bobblehead?
No, as a podcast, jackass. You really weren't listening, were you?
They're car dashboards?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what,
I don't think it's called a dashboard.
where the radio is?
Yeah, I don't think
What do
it's
you
called
call it?
I don't know. Hey, there's the radio.
It's not the console, right?
Right, but I think whenever I think of dashboard, it's all my gauges. What is in front of my steering wheel with all of my gauges is my dashboard. The radio is the radio, man.
Well, what's the air conditioner?
The fucking air conditioner.
The place where it resides, though. The place where all of those things are. That one molded unit where your gauges and your radio and your glove box.
So your glove box is in your dashboard?
Yes.
I'm not buying that.
Stitcher.com/two guys. It's even in your dashboard.
Or not.
A lot of our listener requests have talked about maybe doing top 5 lists or
Bottom 5. That's
Yeah. Bottom 5 is also a thing that you like. We want to cut right to the core.
yeah.
We also like to be mean when we can, as long as we can be funny while we're doing it. We're going to have a segment called The Worst of the Worst.
Yes.
I like it. It's negativity in creativity.
It's going to be things that people are really going to agree with, or they're really not going to agree with. they're gonna be like, oh yeah, so good. That, you know what? Other guy was right, or other guy is a moron.
What is this week's topic for worst of the worst?
I think a popular one, and I think a ton of people will end up coming up with their own worst of the worst, and we'll hopefully send those to us, is the worst movie you have ever seen. You had to have seen this movie from beginning to end. It was so bad I walked out. Doesn't count. Because you don't know, maybe it got better at the end and you just walked out. So the worst movie you have ever watched from beginning to end.
It's close for me, but there's two that are obvious front runners. I think for anyone who's seen them, they're going to have to be high on their list of worst movies.
Oh, you don't want to be their friend?
Yeah. Well, or something's wrong with them. I'm going to go House 2.
Okay.
Which is a horror film from the 80s.
Which I like. It wouldn't be on my bottom list.
You would like House 2 a lot if you haven't seen it. It's on Netflix.
Yeah, no, I've seen it. I used to work, one of my first jobs, I worked at a video store, so I got to just take movies home for free.
Of course you worked at a video store.
Yeah. I've seen some bad movies, man.
Troll 2 is often quoted as, like the worst movie of all time. I've never seen Troll 2, so I can't attest to that. Troll, the original, though, terrible, terrible, terrible movie.
I like that movie. That movie scared me as a kid.
It terrified me as well.
Yeah.
I revisited it, though, about 10 years later.
Yeah.
There's nothing redeeming in that film.
I'm not going to revisit because I like the memory that I already have of it.
Why ruin it?
Right. Yeah.
Movie's scary. And you tell other people, that's a scary movie.
Terrified me as a child.
It's not a scary movie. It's just a really bad movie. House 2 is funny in parts.
I think it was meant to be funny.
Yes.
House 2 is meant to be funny.
Yeah,
House 1's meant to be funny.
Well, House 1 was meant to be more scary than funny and was unsuccessful and was more funny than scary.
Yeah.
House 2, I think they just went more towards it. And for that, I'm going to give them the benefit of a doubt. I'm going to say, for me,
Troll.
The original Troll, worst movie I've ever seen.
Wow, I kind of like Troll. I'm not going to say the worst. It's not even tied. It's not even close. I know the worst movie I've ever seen, and I saw this movie. I went and watched this movie in the theater with my girlfriend at the time, who made me go watch it, and she was pumped about this movie. It was Magnolia. Worst movie I've ever seen.
I can't.
Let me finish. I should have known it was going to be bad, because when we bought our tickets, the ticket taker, the cashier guy, said, first off, are you sure you really want to watch this movie? We said yes. He said, okay, if you get in there and you watch it and you want to leave, we'll refund your ticket. Yeah. Warning signs should have gone off everywhere, but we still went in. And we get in, and the theater was only like half packed whenever we get in there. By the end of that movie, there were 9 people left in the theater watching it. That's how bad that movie is. I hate Magnolia. I think it's the worst movie I've ever seen. I was completely disappointed in it. I thought the people who chose, and I like a lot of the actors. A lot of the actors in that movie I love. They're endeared in my heart. William H. Macy being one of them. I love William H. Macy. I hate the movie. I hated it.
I never saw it in theaters. I waited until it was on video. And I remember vividly the first day that I saw Magnolia. I rented it. We rented that and The Whole 9 Yards, the Bruce Willis movie.
I like that movie better than Magnolia.
Most people do. My sister was in. I was in college at the time. Had my own apartment here in town. My sister was in high school. She'd come to stay with me for the weekend or whatever, and we watched Magnolia. And both of us just loved it. Just thought it was mind blowing.
Yeah, it was mind blowing. It was mind blowing. It was mind blowing how shitty the movie is.
That anybody
It's
allowed
mind
that to come
blowing
out.
that anybody paid to see it. Here's the deal. I would literally rather masturbate with broken glass and watch the Teletubbies for 3 hours than to have to sit through 3 minutes of Magnolia again.
Jesus, that's a declarative statement, sir.
I told you, I hate it. Like, it is the worst of the worst. It's a horrible film.
For those that have not seen Magnolia,
Don't.
I don't think he's right. I don't think it's the worst of the worst.
For
I
those
think
of you who haven't seen the film, save yourself time. Don't go see it.
This is how much my sister and I liked it. We watched the movie. I lived in an apartment complex where like 6 or 7 of my friends also lived in that same complex. We called a bunch of people to hey, let's get together tonight and watch Magnolia. We got it on video. You guys come over and watch it. Which, by the way, that tells you how long ago this was that we were talking about watching it on video. Anyway, they come over, watched it. They all gave me hell and hated it so much they immediately demanded this is like 2 a.m. or whatever. We had to stay up and watch the whole 9 yards because they wanted to wash the taste out.
So if everybody hates this movie, then you're wrong.
What do you think about his other films, though? Paul Thomas Anderson, the director of Magnolia.
Oh, he directed it?
Yes.
I still don't give a fuck.
Okay, but what do you think about the other movies? He made Boogie Nights.
Okay.
Did you like that?
Oddly enough, my wife and I just recently watched Boogie Nights.
What'd you think?
I appreciate that movie launched so many careers.
And that's the best thing that you could say about it?
And who doesn't like tits?
I thought it was a great movie. I thought that's another... Okay, There Will Be Blood is his latest, the oil movie with Daniel Day-Lewis.
I like that movie. I also really like Daniel Day-Lewis.
You are sold out on Daniel Day-Lewis.
I fucking love Daniel Day-Lewis.
Trying to think of what else. He's got a new one. Paul Thomas Anderson's got a new one coming out called The Master, and I haven't seen the trailer yet, but that's the next one. I've been kind of saving it for myself, like you do the end of a book, because I know it's going to be so good. The movie's still a long way off. I don't want to get too hyped up about it. I love this guy. I've loved everything that he's done so far. And Magnolia was just another one. It's like the one movie that I really like Tom Cruise in. You know how much I hate Tom Cruise, and I love him in Magnolia.
Really? That's the movie you like Tom Cruise in? That's the movie.
I don't like him in it. I like his performance. I think, wow, that's him doing something really different than he does in other movies. And I thought it was bold. I thought it was a bold choice in an interesting film.
I can name 10 other Tom Cruise movies that I like him better in than Magnolia. I guess I could name them all.
Yeah, you could name. Well, yeah, you just name every Tom Cruise film, and they would all be. You would like them better than Magnolia. All right, really, Magnolia is your worst of the worst.
Oh yeah, it's not even close. Like there's movies I really dislike, and then there's 7 levels of hell, and then there's the place where live, and then there's Magnolia.
Yeah, that's gonna get good. All right, so that's our worst of the worst. You tell us what the worst movie ever was, or the worst movie you've seen. You have to have seen the whole thing. Sit through it all. You tell us at 2guys1pod@me.com.
And if you have seen Magnolia from beginning to end, and you don't choose that movie, you're an idiot.
What was the other thing that I was going to remind you about? Worst of the worst and, quiz of the week.
Oh,
Did you get
yeah.
one? We're going to talk about that, by the way.
Me whistling?
You whistling and me snapping. The fact that we both have a severe normal person handicap.
But I overcame mine.
And I have overcome mine as well. I can snap. I just snap with the wrong finger.
Oh.
I snap with my forefinger and my thumb, and it's
I can snap with all of them.
That is what I get when I snap with my correct finger, the secondary finger, right? Your middle finger.
Can you snap with? Are you
Can I snap with
ambi
both
snapping?
Yeah, I got both hands, but it's the forefinger on both hands.
My hands are sweaty. I can't snap.
None of my other.
My hands are so sweaty.
None of my other fingers are really useful at all for the snapping.
All right, well,
only the forefinger.
You figured out how to do it.
And not only did I figure it out, I didn't even know I was doing it wrong until I was a teenager.
Well, I guess you're not doing it wrong. Like, if the point of snapping is to make the noise, you're a winner.
My sister loves to make fun of me for that. Lots of people have made fun of me over the years for
snapping with the wrong
What
finger?
What did you just do there? Like, they see me snap and then they're like, "What is that? Did you see how he snapped?" Like it's an abhorrent thing. You, sir, never learned to whistle.
Yeah, and I tried hard.
You know, you just put your lips together and blow.
No, that's bullshit. You don't. People would say that, and I'd go and call them a liar. I have been fascinated with whistling. One of my earlier jobs early on was bagging groceries. Mm-hmm. And in my hometown, we have there's a home for the mentally challenged. And there's a guy that lived in that home who always rode a bike to get his groceries, and he was the most amazing whistler. Like, how he could manipulate that was spectacular. Like, I've never heard anyone else ever come close to whistling like this guy could whistle.
He turned it into a real instrument.
Yes. It was ridiculous. And since then, I've wanted to do that. Not only could I not do that, I couldn't whistle at all.
I love that you were inspired by the mentally challenged.
It was beautiful, man. It was a beautiful thing.
It is. It's lovely.
It was amazing, and I will never be able to share that with anyone else, and it's heart-wrenching.
So, what did you do about it once you got inspired? How do you begin? And how recently is this? This is 6-9 months ago, right?
No, I learned 6 or 9 months ago. I have been trying to whistle for decades.
You met the guy, this amazing whistler,
Yeah.
when you were a child?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been trying real hard.
So what would you do? How do you attempt to whistle? How do you practice whistling?
Like this.
You just walk around using your lips. And you would do this.
Well, I have a small, people would always try to tell me how you, every person whistles. I learned this. Everybody whistles different. They use their articulators in a different way to get that sound. They just figured it out. Everybody's different because everybody told me something different. Like, oh, your tongue need to be behind your teeth, or your lips need to be further apart or closer together. So everybody did it differently.
That's fascinating. And how would you have known that if you hadn't had to do this because you couldn't whistle? What an
Yeah,
interesting
everybody
thing.
whistles differently. So yeah, I kept trying and I couldn't
None
even
of it
come
worked
close.
for
It
you.
wasn't even close. I couldn't do it. First off, I have full lips, rather large, but I also have a very tiny tongue. I have a small tongue. It just doesn't, I can't even stick it out that far. And it's not like it's attached. It's not like, some people have the attached tongues and they literally can't move it.
Yes.
I don't have an attached tongue. It's detached like it's supposed to be.
It's just not that long.
No. And it's wide.
You got big old fat tongue.
Yes, I have a big fat, and I guess a lot of people don't, which is why people couldn't tell me how to whistle.
Huh.
But now I can whistle, and I do it all the time. I enjoy it. I'll do it while I'm working. I'll do it while I'm in the shower. I'll do it while I'm driving. Do it while I'm playing a game. I constantly whistle.
I discovered that you didn't know how to whistle because you and I and our mutual friend were playing a board game.
No. Before that, you called me out on it.
Oh.
You called me out on it first, and then he called me out on it, and you kind of had my back because you felt bad.
You were whistling loudly. Were we alone? Was it just the two of us?
I think maybe
Mrs. Other Guy and Honey Bun were there, maybe two. Maybe it was our couples. But anyway, a few people. But you're whistling loudly in front of other people, and you were whistling terribly, monotone, unmelodic.
Okay, here's what I can't tell that it's monotone. I
get
don't
that now.
know that.
I get that now, but you gotta I'm from a musical
I think
background.
I'm doing amazing.
I'm from a musical background. My father was a music minister, always grew up singing, and he's a whistler too. I whistle a little bit, although I tend not to do it in public because most people don't like it. Let's be honest. Even if you're a good whistler, most people are like, "Why are you whistling?" That's
Because I'm
weird.
happy, douchebag.
I know you got a
Because I'm
song in your
happy.
heart. So anyway, you were whistling terribly one night at the house, and I just called you on it. I was like, if I whistled like that, I would not do it out loud.
Yeah, you're pretty mean. You actually were pretty mean about it.
And your wife, Mrs. Other Guy, came to your defense that night. She said, he just learned to whistle like a week ago.
And it drives her nuts. She hates it. That's how much this woman loves me. It's something that drives her nuts. She doesn't like driving with me in the car. She has pointed it out. She's never pointed out that I'm really bad at it, but she does point out how much she hates it. And I keep doing it. And she loves me so much when somebody makes fun of me about it, she has my back.
Well, the problem is if you don't know that it's a skill that you just picked up and you're actively
hard, man.
working on it, then it's ridiculous. Generally, my mother, for instance, God bless her, she's a saint in many ways. She cannot sing. She sings, as they say, like an amputee. She can't hold a note. She can't carry a tune.
Why do they say she sings like an amputee?
Because she can't hold a note and she can't carry a tune. She sings like an amputee. If you sang an amputee.
I don't like that's a stupid
No?
saying. Did you
You've
make
never
that
heard-
up?
No, you've never heard that before?
No.
You've never heard somebody say he sings like an amputee.
Yeah, because what if it's their leg that got amputated? Big deal.
Anyway.
And what if it's just one arm? They can still carry a tune in the other hand.
My mother, a saint though she is, terrible singer, horrible singer. She knows that about herself. Why? Because she tried to sing as a little girl, and then she tried to sing again as a young adult, and she tried to sing as an adult, in her church and things like that. None of it is very good. She doesn't care to do it. She doesn't do it in public. She knows that it's not a very pleasant sound. She doesn't get the melody. She doesn't get the tune. She doesn't do it. That's the way that most adults do with the things that they're not good at. They don't do them anymore, at least not out in public.
I can't think of a single day since I was 15 that I haven't either tried to whistle or have whistled. It's the hardest thing I've ever had to do. I've had to work at this, man.
At this rate of progress, you'll be able to vary your notes in another 2 decades, though. It took you almost 20 years to even get the physical mechanics down. I'm saying it's likely that you and I won't, one of us may be dead before you're able to modulate notes. But you're working on it. And I got to say, that's pretty freaking inspirational.
Yeah.
So next week, bring me something without sauce.
All right.
And I'll do my best to eat it and broaden my horizons while you're learning to whistle.
No, you won't.
I did. I tried to eat that.
No, you didn't.
Other guy, we've been in this booth a while, man. I'm one guy.
And I'm the other.
And this has been the podcast.